This video is going to be insane. How's it going, everyone? We just got a huge update in Fortnite Creative. We got a brand new Campfire device. We got a bunch of brand new items, including the Inflate-A-Bull. We got some brand new candy consumables. We got some insane new device settings and some much needed bug fixes. Trust me, you guys aren't going to want to miss that. We also got some insane new leaks. And I'm telling you, if these devices actually get added, they're gonna blow our minds. Not only that, we also got a leak on Creative 2.0, and it's actually really crazy as well. It really could help the future of Fortnite Creative. It's very exciting. I'm gonna go over all that and more in this video, so let's go. Real quick, if you could hit that like button, it really helps me out a lot. And as always, if you check the progress bar, I have added chapters so you guys can skip around as needed. All right, let's get into the update. All right, we got a lot to cover. Let's just get started. As far as like prefabs or any new galleries, we didn't get any today, but they did add a birch tree in the Invasion Nature Gallery. You'll see it here. Just an FYI, we just got a huge update to an old device, and that is the Campfire. It was kind of like a trap. Remember, you could just throw it down and heal, but now it's its own thing. It's off grid. Check this thing out. We have a bunch of settings now. You can control how fast it heals you. You can control if it can be lit or if it can be extinguished. You can resize this. It gets really, really big. The new Campfire device also brings some really cool settings that we kind of haven't seen before, and that is you can signal when you get near it or when you leave the campfire. This is really cool. Let me show you how it works. All right, so when we get near the campfire, you see it will turn green lights, basically signaling, and then when you leave, it'll signal to whatever channel you have it set up to. It looks like it's about a tile radius, maybe a tile and a half. Still very cool, and maybe you could hide this campfire and use this setting for something else. All right, so next we got a bunch of new consumables, more specifically Halloween candy consumables. If you guys remember last update, they added some new sound effects, but they also added some more sounds to the radio. We're gonna get into that in a minute. Let me just show you these new Halloween candy consumables they've added. They also added the Slurp mushroom. It's not a Halloween candy, I know. I just added it to this part so you guys could see that it is in creative now. So the first of the 5 new candies they added, one is the jelly bean, and it basically just gives you 10 shield. They've added a hop drop. It'll give you 5 HP and give you low gravity. Here, check this out. So it's like a hop rock, hop drop. You guys get it. So another candy they added was the candy corn. Yuck. But no, for real, this just gives you 10 HP. Next, they've added a peppermint candy. It basically will give you 5 HP, but it will increase your speed. Here, I'll show you guys. So it's basically just like the pepper. And the last candy they added was the thermal taffy. It's basically just like the thermal fish. It will give you thermal vision and give you 5 HP. We've basically had these already in creative. They're just reskinned for Halloween. All right, we actually got some brand new items in creative, which is awesome. We got the Inflate-A-Bull already, which just came out in BR a few updates ago. I think that's really cool. Whee! All right, they've added the alien Nanites. This device is insane. I think this is just so cool. They've also added the plasma cannon. I love the visual effects on this weapon. Very cool, and thank you Epic for not waiting months to add new items you put in BR. Thank you. Next up, they've made a major update to the speaker device. They've actually added some insane settings to this device, and they're much needed. Check this out. You can now pick who's gonna hear the sound. Now before, you could basically pick the sound distance and volume. That's the only settings we had for the speakers. Now you can still do this, but there's even better settings, and we can make our games way more customizable. You can now choose who can be heard by what. Just the instigator, so just someone who signals the speaker is just gonna hear it, no one else, which is so cool. cool, or everyone but the instigator is gonna hear the sound, right? So that's kind of cool. You can kind of warn somebody picked up something and everyone knows that they got that item. There's a lot of uses for this. The other setting they added was play at location, which again, this is really, really cool. So the sound can just come from wherever that player presses a button, or you can signal off an elim. It'll make the sound right there. They've also added options to register a player to the speaker device, kind of similar to the reference device we have. What's cool about this is you could register this to just a specific player. Every time it's signal, it's gonna only sound to them throughout the whole game until it's unregistered. Just more tools in our tool belt. It's very, very cool. All right, next up is the tracker device. They've added an insane setting and a new way to use the tracker device and track score. And there's even crazier news with this tracker, but just wait 1 second. I'll show you the new setting and then I'll show you that. So if you guys go in here, you will notice that we have a new stat to track. Before it was just channels, elims, and eliminated. Now we can actually track score. This is huge. Not only that, they actually changed the target value. You can go all the way up to like 10,000. That is really, really cool. This will make for even more customization in comp maps, aim courses, definitely in these open world maps. I really love this device, and it had a lot of bugs in the past, but it seems to be working really well now. And my #1 ask for these trackers, it seems to come true. And that is the tracker device, if you're tracking score, will actually work with the save device. You can actually save progress to a tracker, which we have not been able to do before. That is really cool. I want to actually give a shout out to Axel Kapik for finding this out. I'll put links to his Twitter in the description. Very, very cool. So the next new device change was on the air vent, and they added something pretty cool. You can now enable and disable sound effects and visual effects. So this is what it looks like enabled and basically what it looked like before this update. You get that whoosh sound and you see the vents, little air streams, right? So now when it's disabled, you don't get that sound and you don't see those little white airstream lines like you do when it's enabled. Basically, this just helps you keep it a little more inconspicuous. Very, very cool. So they've actually added a little update to the color changing tile device, which this device hasn't gotten love for a while. Don't get too excited, but it's still kind of cool. Let me show you. If you interact with the device, you'll see you can change the appearance to disco, and that's basically it. Cool. All right, this next device update change is epic, and we've been asking for this for a long time, and I know the AIM creator community is so stoked about this. And when I tell you what they've added, you're gonna be like, wasn't that already on that device? And the answer is no. Let me show you. We can now enable and disable targets, which is awesome. And even cooler, we can now signal when they are hit. There's going to be some really, really cool aim maps coming out soon. All right, next up on the radio device, they've added some more sounds. They're all spooky sounds, but there's actually some sounds that may be used for other things. I'm not going to go through all of them. You guys can go check them out, but just know they're there. Next up, we'll just cover this real quick on the race manager. They changed the user interface. Let me show you. It may not look much different. Basically, it's just to make it easier to read. They also added more team-specific racing paths to help out with confusion, stuff like that. Just FYI. All right, they've added a new setting on the vehicle spawner. It's definitely interesting. You should know about this. And now if a vehicle goes too deep into the water, you can destroy it after a delay or instantly. That's going to be up to you. All right, so this isn't really a device setting change. This is a bug fix, but it is huge. And this was one of the most annoying bugs to have. And that was the phantom random elim glitch on the barriers. It happened randomly and you could touch it sometimes and it would just kill you. It might not even be enabled. It's very, very weird. That bug is fixed. All right, next up is the visual effects device. We just got this device, I think 2 weeks ago, and we can now change sound effects on it. And this ad is actually really, really cool because we have sound effects that we've never had before, and we can actually use this for other applications. So if you come down here, you'll see there's a sound effects tab. See those sound effects? We don't have, those aren't on the speaker device, which they should be. Hopefully they add those soon. But now you could enable and disable this device to give you these sounds. There is a bunch of sound effects. I'm not going to go through all of them, so feel free on your own time, but definitely a very, very cool ad. And for the last settings update, we're going to talk about the ring gallery. You won't actually find this anywhere. I haven't seen anyone talk about this yet, so I guess it's kind of secret, but like last update or the update before that, the ring gallery, they actually made it so you can enable and disable them. They were triggerable, but that has now since been removed. You cannot interact with these and change them. Just an FYI. They also changed the visual effects on the ring gallery as well. They were very, very bright. I remember this has been like, I think since the start of this season, but that since has now been fixed. It doesn't really wash out your screen that much. I will say if you have your post processing all the way up on Epic, you'll see it gives you a little more of that wash hue effect, which may be actually kind of cool and you may use that, but it's not so blinding. And while I'm saying that, you guys, I wanted to show you guys this is kind of cool, but you may notice the damage volume kind of got a new skinned, a new look. If you have, it's also very, very bright. I gotta turn the post processing down. All right, that's much better, but you guys can see it looks a little different. You can see that fire. I think that's really, really cool. All right, one more thing. They've added a new setting. If you go into your settings and go all the way to the bottom, you will see you can hide back blings now. I'm not exactly sure why this was added or for what. Maybe it's for like Among Us type maps. I'm not sure, but we now have that option and I thought you guys should know about it. Anyway, guys, that is it for all the new things updated, but don't leave just yet. We have some insane, crazy leaks, including Creative 2.0. Let's dive into it. As always, I always get my Fortnite leaks from Fortnite Creative News. Link to that Twitter is in the description. So the first device leak is the skydive volume, and it says it creates a volume that forces players to skydive when enter. This sounds really, really cool. I'm wondering if this is for like event type maps, if this is what that was used for. We may never see it in creative, FYI, but this did get leaked. Very, very cool. Next up, this one is insane. A new prop manipulation device. It activates and deactivates buildings visibility and collision within the volume. What? This is insane. So if I understand this correctly, it'll be a device where you can put in, maybe you built a house or whatever, you put the device on it and it gets rid of the house on a channel, or you enable it and it will show the house. I don't know. I really hope we get this device though. This is insane. All right, we are now getting leaks from Creative 2.0. Its codename is Valkyrie. Sheena BR uncovered this leak today and it is wild. So a feature called Hermes was added to the files today. It will be used for Creative 2.0. It's used to download projects of other players. You can add new projects, you can download and add a project, you can enter project ID link code. So I'm not 100% sure what this actually means, but what I think it may mean is maybe you could build like a house prefab yourself, share it. Maybe there'll be a store where you could sell it, or maybe you could make a box fights mechanics or zone wars mechanics where somebody could purchase it, just the game mode mechanics itself to put in their map, something like that. I could be way off base, but still, this is very, very cool and we all love Creative 2.0 leaks. All right, that's gonna do it for this update today. We had a really, really good update, lots of really cool things added. If you guys would, in the comments, please write what your favorite part of this update was. Also, if you guys don't mind, hit that like button before you leave and subscribe if you guys want to see more content like this. I'm Immature Gamer, and I'm out.